I got to know that apart from Sokode, it's only MedLab. MedLab people, raise your hands and let's see. I think it's only MedLab people who are at Asogli, right? Okay, MedLab people, they are Asogli. They are about 100 people, so that is it. But like I told you, that Asogli can take only 640 students. But my inquiry shows that it is not only the the MedLab people, that is the medical school students are there, and per university's regulation and policy, virtually it will grow, but per the policy, all medical students from first year to and final year are supposed to be closer to the hospital. So majority of the hostels there were assigned to, the rooms were assigned to medical students and also I think the PA people. So virtually some of the SAHS students may have to go to other private hostels that we have. I told you about the private ones. It's private university managed ones. So that's it. The cost of the private ones is different from that of the what? The Asogli and the other ones. So yes, the day had got in touch with management, and all the students, Asogli you pay 3,250. The private hostels, the price will be lower than that. I don't have the figures, but the good news is that after students have come in and settled down and we've taken statistics, those of you who paid for Asogli and are not in Asogli, your money will be refunded. But it will not be given to you. Hold on. The money will be refunded. University, when your money goes into the university, they will give it to you in hand, but to be refunded into your account. So second semester or second year, when you are coming, at least that money is there for you. So if your fees is S, it will be S minus something because you have accounts there. Or you want the money to be given to you now, but you are not the one who paid. This is your dad. Yeah. So the money will be refunded. But I want to render apology to all of you. We wish you will be at Sokode close to us, so that you will be able to interact. You remember that yesterday I have to ask. I have to ask the school officers to come around to locate you, so that they will bring all of you here. So that is the challenge that we're having. So apologize that on your letter you stated that you'll be here, but you have to be taken to the other hostels. But notwithstanding, the other hostels also have a number of advantages than the new hostel here. In fact, some of the advantage include, I've mentioned the closeness, the vicinity. Some of them are in the heart of the city or the town. So if you want to buy food anytime, it's okay. In terms of security, it's much better, because always there are people around. I believe, and I've mentioned to authorities that are concerned, that the main one, the Sokode, needs a lot of security. We have to beef up because it's a newly established, and in the night, I mean, there are a whole lot of problems. So the hostels you are, it makes access very easy to town. Also, they are cheaper than the Asogli hostels because these are newly built ones. So, and the university use loans to build, so it means you have to get money to pay for those ones. So they are a bit cheaper than the ones that the university had put up. I've learned that some of the private hostels are even more spacious than even the main ones. Then I also note that the Asogli, the one here is called Asogli. The Asogli and the main ones, you have to buy your own electricity credit. This one you have to be buying the MedLab people. So when you are using the credit electricity, you have to think wise. Your colleague is switch electric iron, and here you are not supposed to use gas. You are supposed to use what? Electric what? Stove. So when somebody switch the hot plate on and leave it to lectures, you have to go and switch it off, because you will be the one who will buy the what? The credit. But I think the other place, the electricity and everything is what? Inclusive. So there are advantage and what? Disadvantage. So this is something important Abigail had brought up, and I think I've explained to you. And don't get disheartening that you are not close to here, because after this interaction and maybe some registration and other things you'll be doing, most of the lectures will take place at the permanent site, and buses will be picking you. But from second year, you may have to get your own accommodation. It's not a big problem, because second year, third year, fourth year, they have their accommodation, and by the time you get to maybe middle of the semester, some of you will be matured enough that even when you are looking for, you don't need your HODs, and you know your corner and your ways already. So obviously, after first year, you have opportunity to get your own place. And please, let's manage. One of the presenters said something about managing your colleagues in your room. Maybe your house, you sleep in your own room, one room to yourself. You have TV, you have fridge, you have everything. But here, 4 in a room, and I believe most of you have gone to secondary school in hostels or boarding house, so you know how to manage people. After 1 year, second year, you can rent your maybe 4-bedroom apartment for yourself or anything if you want it, right? So let's manage it for now. But for the refund, don't get worried, because some parents even confronted me. That's why I did all the investigation, so it will be refunded. But just note that the money will not be given to Abigail, because if you give it to you, go and use it to buy pizza and other things. But the money will be refunded into Abigail's account. So next year, when you are paying school fees, at least that is a credit for you. I hope it's okay. Thank you very much.
I hope we don't have any more questions. We are fine now. So, okay, all right. So the last questions, then we will break into our departments. The last question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Frances Kunako, in the School of Orthotics and Prosthetics. My question is, Mr. Abuaji talked about registration, of which the date will be communicated later. And apparently not everyone has been able to make full payments of their school fees. I'm asking this question for the benefit of others. And so, if you have not been able to pay all your fees, maybe you've been able to pay part, will you be restricted from registering because you haven't made full payment? Thank you.
So, depending on the semester in which you are, mostly because it's 1 year, semester 1, semester 2, if you've not finished paying in the first semester, you may be allowed to register, but in the second semester, you will not be allowed, because you'll be moving to the next level, and the university cannot afford to see you maybe disappear if you decide not to move to the next level but leave the university. So it depends also on the semester that you are in. So first semester, depending on how much is left, you may be allowed to carry it on to the second semester. But the second semester, if you've not paid in full, you will not be able to register and write exams.
I will add something to it also. So he said you are owing. There's a policy in the university. The policy is that everybody must pay your fees in full. That is, it's not my policy, it's the university policy. Notwithstanding the policy, there's also a small window of opportunity there. That if you are here and you think you have a problem in paying fees, you have to write to the registrar that, Madam Registrar, that ma'am have this problem, and you first proper excuse, then the registrar can look at it and grant you the right to maybe continue or register. But then at least you should be able to pay about 70% of your fees before that. So if anybody here has serious problem, fees, it's not you who pays fees. Mommy, daddy was not able to pay full fee for you and so forth. And you think that you will not be able to pay in the immediate weeks or so, you may have to see the registrar, write a letter through your HOD, through the dean, then it will go to the registrar for them to registry for them to consider giving you some dispensation. So if you can't pay your fees, that doesn't mean you should pack your bag and go home now. No, we are encouraging you to pay that. But if you have a problem, then you can go right to the registrar for that. But let me sound this caution to all of you. Now you are in first year, so you are good. Don't pick bad habits from some of your continuous. A number of students has come to our notice that, especially from second year, they don't pay their fees because they use their money for betting. Some use their money for investment to buy KK and all those things. It's a true thing, especially the gentlemen among you. Please, when you do that, you are taking high risk. And bet should not be part of you now. So please, when that mom gives you the money, pay straight. Don't, especially maybe first year because you want admission. Normally we don't have much problem with the first years because you want admission, so you pay the fee. But from second year where they give you the money, that time to second year you have known all the corners and the tricks, so you keep some of the money. But the regulation is that if you have not paid your fees in full, you cannot register and you cannot progress. But then if you have a serious problem, a peculiar problem about fee payment, that doesn't mean you should sack you. You have to write through the HOD, through the dean, then you forward to the registrar that this student have problem. He said he cannot pay with your letter. Then they can decide and see whether they should accept or rather force you to pay. Maybe your reasoning, you can't write that to, I can't pay my fees because I use half of the money to do betting. So I'm waiting for the results first. How they will accept that. But if you have a genuine reason, then it can be accepted. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof, for the advice given us. So we'll break into our various departments. Before I do, we have some faculty at the back. Can you give us a wave? We have some faculty. And I can see the examination and registration officer, Dr. Smith. If you have any issues with So if you have issues with registration of courses and examination issues, the person to see is Dr. Smith. She's at the back there. All right, so thank you very much. I hope I introduced everybody. Okay, we have some of our coaches here. Coaches, give us some wave. They are in the School of Sports and Exercise Medicine. You'll be meeting them from time to time. So we are breaking into our various departments. Imaging and medical laboratory sciences will be in the auditorium. You'll find a place for them. Okay, so we will end the main program here as we break into our departments. Let me take this opportunity to thank you very much for your patience and also the questions that you brought to us. I hope you've learned something this morning. So we'll be seeing you. If you have issues, don't keep it to yourself. Communicate it, bring it up, and let's see how best we can help you resolve your problems in the university. I wish you well, and I wish you happy stay. Thank you very much. All right. So your heads of departments will come and meet you, break you into the various groups, and have some few discussions with you. I'm sure it will not keep so long. All right. Okay, so sports at the corner there.